Hi guys, it's Jason from Perform 360, and today's exercise video blog that we want to sort of discuss is the overhead press. Okay, there's a couple of different ways that you can do an overhead press, whether it's dumbbell, barbell, sitting or standing. Our preferred technique is a barbell or a dumbbell overhead press, just from a whole different points of activation and things like that. Okay, so we've got Brent here. He's going to be doing a barbell overhead press. So as we can see, Brent's going to do quite a good form. He's got a nice straight line. The glutes are on tight. That bar is stacking well above shoulder and above hip, yeah? And his wrists are nice and straight. That's a forgotten point too of the overhead press. So what we commonly see though, is not as good form as that. We commonly see some compensation in certain joints and areas. So Brent's now going into what's called extension through the lumbar spine. Now I put extension through the lumbar spine kind of more related to shoulder or lack of mobility in the shoulder and the thoracic. So he's compensating. So he's trying to balance that bar over the hips, but he doesn't have the mobility here to keep a straight line and tuck those ribs under. Okay, so what it could be is a lack of shoulder mobility to really get those shoulders under and that nice straight line. Okay, so what we're going to do, rack that for me. So if we see a technique like that, first and foremost, we're going to look at the lat and addressing the lat. Yeah. So as I said, Brent wants that nice straight line, and what could be inhibiting that movement is lat. So we're going to focus on foam rolling through this lat first, maybe subscapularis and things like that, and rotator cuff as well. Okay, so we've got a roller here. So Brent's going to roll down. Now you can use any roller. It doesn't necessarily have to be these ones with the little trigger points. These are quite painful. Okay, but you can use a normal roller if you wish. And Brent's just got his arm extended out, and he's just rolling back and forth. So, like anything, if Brent's been tight for 5, 10 years, 12 months, whatever it is, you're not going to undo that tightness in one rolling session. So it's one of those things that you should put into your daily practice. Very good. And then he might compensate and come back around the other side if you wish, if you wanted to obviously do both sides. But then if you want to go into rotator cuff as well, looking at the back of the shoulder. Okay, now we're sort of moving into that mid-trap area. So he's just sort of mobilizing through that mid-trap. Good. Awesome. So you might spend, 5 minutes doing both sides. So, a couple minutes on one lat, a couple minutes on the other lat, a minute or two doing the thoracic. All right, very good. Now from that, one of my favorites is the passive and active hang. Okay, so once again, we're looking at mobilizing the lat and stretching that out. So Brent's just allowing the body to hang in this natural position. He's got the biceps as high as we can, and that's how I know he's in that deep stretch. The biceps are near the ears, and looking pretty straight as well. So that's a great stretch on the lat. And then he's going to move into what we call an active hang. So he's just going to pull through. Now we're actually turning it into an activation through the mid-trap, which is generally weak in our overhead press. And he's going to go back down into a passive hang and active hang. Okay, so it's lengthening, mid-trap activation, lengthening. Awesome. Third and final one would be just a simple lat stretch. So popping down on your knees for me. You can do this anywhere, you don't need any equipment. And what Brent's going to do, if we're going to focus on stretching his left lat, so our left one. Yep. And then we're going to focus on externally rotating through that. He can actually use this hand here, pop it on his wrist, and push away, and he's going to drop into it. Okay, if he wants to get an extra stretch, he can drop the hips back. Awesome. We might hold that for a good 45 seconds or so. It's a nice comfortable stretch, particularly if this top hand's really lengthening that bottom arm. Great, there you have it. We'll obviously do both sides. So if that overhead press is one of those things that you do struggle with as far as alignment, give those 3 drills a bit of a go, and have no doubt that it will improve your alignment and therefore strength, and obviously prevent injuries and putting the load in different joints and things like that we don't want.